صلوات.
اللهم
صل على أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وكلا ضربنا له الأمثال وكلا تبرنا تتبرا ولقد أتوا على القرية التي أمطرت ما ترى السوء أفلم يكونوا يرونها بل كانوا لا يرجون نشورا وإذا رأوك يتخذونك إلا هزوا أهذا الذي بعث الله رسولا إن كدا ليضلونا عن آلهتنا لولا أن صبرنا عليها وسوف يعلمون حين يرون العذاب من أضل سبيلا أرأيت من اتخذ إلهه هواه أفأنت تكون عليه وكيلا أم تحسبوا أن أكثرهم يسمعون أو يعقلون إن هم إلا كالأنعام بل هم أضل سبيلا ألم تر إلى ربك كيف مد الظل ولو شاء لجعله سكينا ثم جعلنا الشمس عليه دليلا ثم قبضناه إلينا قبضا يسيرا وهو الذي جعل لكم الليل لباسا والنوم سباتا وجعل النهار نشورا وهو الذي يرسل الرياح بشرا بين يدي رحمته وأنزلنا من السماء ماء طهورا لنحيي به بلدة ميتا ونسقيه مما خلقنا أنعاما وأناسيا كثيرا ولقد صرفناه بينهم ليذكروا بابا أكثر الناس إلا كفورا ولو شئنا لبعثنا في كل قرية نذيرا فلا تطع الكافرين وجاهدهم به جهادا كبيرا وهو الذي مرج البحرين هذا عذب هرات وهذا ملح أجاج وجعل بينهما برزخا وحجرا مهجورا وهو الذي خلق من الماء بشرا فجعله نسبا وصهرا وكان ربك قديرا ويعبدون من دون الله ما لا ينفعهم ولا يضرهم وكان الكافر على ربه ظهيرا وما أرسلناك إلا مبشرا ونذيرا قل ما أسألكم عليه من أجر إلا من شاء أن يتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا وتوكل على الحي الذي لا يموت وسبح بحمده وكفى به بذنوب عباده خبيرا الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وما بينهما في 6 أيام ثم استوى على العرش الرحمن فاسأل به خبيرا. صدق اللہ العلی العظیم.
اللهم صل على محمد صلوات بر محمد وآل محمد صل على محمد.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. حدیث قصہ کی قبولیت کے لیے بلند تر صلوات. بیماروں کی شفا یابی کے لیے بلند تر صلوات. ظہور امام زمانہ علیہ السلام بلند تر صلوات. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. روى فاطمة الزهراء علیہ السلام بنت رسول اللہ قال سمعت فاطمة أنها قالت دخل علي برسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة فقلت عليك السلام. قال إني أجد في بدني ضعفا فقلت له أوصيك بالله يا فتح من الضعف. فقال يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلأ له كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكمال الصلوات. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن عليه السلام قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أمه فقلت وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وسمرة فؤادي. فقال يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله. فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن علیہ السلام نحو الكساء فقال السلام عليك يا جده يا رسول الله أتأذنني أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء. فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء. صلوات. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا ولدي الحسين عليه السلام قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أمه فقلت وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني والسمرة فؤادي. فقال لي يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله. فقلت نعم إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدني الحسين عليه السلام نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جده والسلام عليك يا من اختاره الله. أتأذنوني أن أدخل معكما تحت الكساء. فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا الشافي أمتي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء ولسني ويا أمير المؤمنين مكة. فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. فقلت نعم وما ولدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء فقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله يتأذنني أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء. قال له وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وسيعي وخليفتي مصاحب لوائي قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. صلوات. ثم تحت نحو الكساء وقلت والسلام عليك يا عبد. فلم اكتمل جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ برسول الله بطرفي الكساء ووضع بيد اليمنى إلى السماء فقال اللهم إن هؤلاء يحلوا بيدي لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي يولمون ما يولمهم ويحزنون ما يحزنهم وأنا هرب لمن هاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن آذاهم ومحب لمن أحبهم إنهم مني وأنا منهم فجل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على وقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان السماوات إني ما خلقت السماء مبنية ولا أرض مديدة. قال عز وجل أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة هم فاطمة وأبوها وبالها وبنوها صلوات محمد وآله وقال جبرائيل يا ربي أتأذن لي أن أحبط إلى الأرض ليكون معه سادسا فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك فعبد الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله العلي الأعلى يقولك السلام ويخصك بالتيهات والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلال إني ما خلقت السماء مبنية ولا أرض مدية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمس مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وهي الله إنهم نعم قد أذنت لك فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآله فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى عليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وقال لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوس هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله والذي بعثني بالحق نبي واصطفاني برسالة نجي ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل بمحافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت لهم الرحمة وهفت بهم الملائكة واستغفر له إلى يتفرقوا فقال علي عليه السلام وزم والله فزنا فاز شيتنا ورب الكعبة صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآله فقال برسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبي واصطفاني برسالة نجي ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفي جمع من شيتنا ومحبينا وفي محمود الله وفرج الله همه لحيا ولا مغفور الله وكشف الله غمه لحيا ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته لحيا فقال علي عليه السلام وزم والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيوتنا فعزوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرات ورب الكعبة بلندر صلوات اللهم صل على محمد پر محمد وآل محمد بلندر صلوات.
درود محمد وآل محمد بلندر سلامات. بے پردہ حرم شام کے بازار ملانا بے پردہ حرم شام کے بازار ملانا سجاد تیرے سجاد تیرے مارے گئے غربت میں سکینہ کو تماچے مارے گئے غربت میں سکینہ کو تماچے اچھا نہیں ہوتا ہے یتیموں کو ستانا اچھا نہیں ہوتا ہے یتیموں کو ستانا سوتی ہے ابھی باپ کا سر گود میں لے کر سوتی ہے ابھی باپ کا سر گود میں لے کر اے شمرے لئی دل نا سکینہ کا دکھانا اے شمرے لئی دل نا سکینہ کا دکھانا سجاد تیرے سجاد تیرے درد کو کیا جانے زمانہ بے پردہ حرم شام کے بازار میں لانا درود محمد وآل محمد بلندتر صلوات
صلوات بر محمد وآل محمد. Now I would like to request our esteemed guest speaker Sayyid Shabir Abdi to deliver the speech and teach us on the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Salawat bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
محمد وآل محمد بلندتر صلوات
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق الصلاة والسلام على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين رحمة للعالمين طه وياسين سيدنا ونبينا حبيبنا وطبيب نفوسنا على النبي الأمي البدر الجلي الكوكب الدري البشير والنظير الرسول المسدد العشير الممجد المصطفى الأمجد حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى إمام المطهر وشجاع الغزنفر قاسم طوبى وسقر أبي شبير وشبر قالع باب خيبر حامل اللواء الحمد يؤم المحشر مظهر العجائب ومظهر الغرائب الذي حبه فرض على الحاضر والغائب إمام المشرقين وإمام المغربين سيد الكونين أبي مولى الثقلين أمير المؤمنين علي ابن أبي طالب وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من يومنا هذا إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه تبارك وتعالى في محكم كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن فرعون علا في الأرض وجعل أهلها شيعا يستضعف طائفة منهم يذبح أبناءهم ويستحيي نساءهم إنه كان من المفسدين. ونريد أن نمن على الذين استضعفوا في الأرض ونجعلهم أئمة ونجعلهم الوارثين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. In Surah Qasas, ayah of number 4, Allah speaks about Fir'aun, who has exalted himself in the land, and he created groups, and he oppressed one of those groups. He killed their sons, and he left the women. Indeed, he was among the corruptors. Then Allah reminds us his plan. وَنُرِيدُ أَن نَمُنَّ عَلَى الَّذِينَ اسْتُضْعِفُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah wishes, or Allah desires, to favor those who were oppressed. Allah wants to make them leaders. نَجْعَلَهُمْ أَئِمَّةً وَنَجْعَلَهُمُ الْوَارِثِينَ. We will make them imams, we will make them a'immah, and we will make them warithin. They will be the inheritors. That means the group that were oppressed, that went through persecution, Allah wants to bestow His favor on them by making them leaders, by making them the inheritors of this land. Now imagine the favor of Allah. And then Allah says, we will show them وَنُرِيَ فِرْعَوْنَ وَحَامَانَ وَجُنُودَهُمَا مِنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَحْذَرُونَ. We will show Fir'aun, Haman, and their army what we will show, the thing that they are most afraid of. That means when Fir'aun and the likes of Fir'aun, they find themselves powerful on this land, Allah will show them who is the most powerful. The group they oppressed, that is the same group, Allah will make them the leaders of this land, the inheritors of the land. And this is what the Fir'aun and Haman and their army is afraid of. Allah will show them that who on this earth. This is why these ayah explains us that in every generation where there is Fir'aun and he has his plan, Allah has a plan. Allah has His successors on the earth, His representatives on the earth, who represents Allah's message, who admonishes, who reminds people of Allah's message. No one can deny Allah's message. No one can deny Allah's revelation. No one can deny His signs, because there are those responsible beings on this earth who will constantly remind people of Allah's message so that people will not go astray. People will not go away from the path that Allah has chosen for them. Because what does Fir'aun do? What does Haman, his wazir, does? All they do is they use tactics. What kind of tactics? They oppress people. They kill people. For what do they do that? They do so that they can take control. They want to crush them. They want to instill fear in people's heart. They don't want people to rise against them. They don't want anyone to raise their voices against them. You cannot speak up about the injustice. You cannot speak up about the oppression. They use fear. They use zulm. They oppress so that people stay quiet, and they kill the children. They kill their men. Why do they kill men? They kill the men so that the offspring is wiped out. There is no men from that same group to rise up against them. Once they are wiped out, they are left with what? Without any men, any support. And who is left? The women are left. They won't do anything. That's what Fir'aun thinks, that if I kill the men, the women will be helpless. They will be lonely. They won't be able to raise their voice. But this is the problem. What they think in their perception is right may not always be right. They are not afraid of women raising their voices against them, protesting against their oppression. But Allah says, we will show Fir'aun and Haman of those things they are afraid of. We will make them the inheritors of this land. We have seen when Prophet Musa alayhi salam was sent to Fir'aun to deliver the message, he asked Allah for support. His brother Harun to be his supporter, and Allah granted him his wish, his desire. This is the pattern that we see. When Allah asks his prophet to deliver a message, and if that mission is a great mission, the prophet asks for help. Just like Prophet Musa, our prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, he prayed to Allah, "Oh Allah, just like my brother Musa, who asked you to grant him his supporter from his family, Harun, I ask you to grant me from my family, my brother Ali ibn Abi Talib, to be my supporter, to be my wasi, and strengthen my back with Ali ibn Abi Talib." You see, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam supported Rasulullah throughout the tabligh, throughout his life. And when Amir al-Mu'mineen took charge of the leadership after Rasulullah, who does he have as supporter? He has his wife as the supporter. When the darkness enveloped Islam, there was one light guiding them towards the path of salvation. That was Sayyidatun Nisa al-Alameen, the daughter of the Prophet, the supporter of Imamat, the supporter of the Vilayat, reminding people of their responsibilities, reminding them to hold fast the rope of Allah, urwatul wuthqa, the rope of Allah, that is the Vilayah, her husband. And then when she passes away, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he sees that there will come a time where the circumstances will resemble like the days of ignorance. The darkness will take over. I won't be there. And it will be the time where Karbala will take place. What happens when I am not there? Amir al-Mu'mineen al-Mu'mineen prays to Allah for a son like the son Abul Fadl Abbas, so that he represents Amir al-Mu'mineen in Karbala. He is the supporter of Imam Hassan alayhi salam during his lifetime, and Imam Hussein alayhi salam until his last breath. That's Abul Fazl Abbas. You see the pattern developing. Musa had a supporter, Harun. Rasulullah had a supporter, Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali ibn Abi Talib had a supporter, Fatima az-Zahra salamullahi alayha. Imam Hassan had a supporter, Hussein ibn Ali and Abul Fazl Abbas. When it was time for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, you see the supporter, Abul Fazl Abbas. Now who is there in Karbala? Who's left after Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Imam Zainul Abidin, Imam Sajjad. Who does he have as a supporter? Thaniya Zahra, Zainab Kubra salamullahi alayha. You see that pattern developing? This is why on the day of Ashura, when Imam Hussein was leaving towards the battlefield in his final farewell, he appoints Zainab Kubra. He gives her the charge of the caravan. He gives her the charge of protecting the imamate. He gives her the charge of protecting Islam. Now she is representing Imam Hussein alayhi salam. All eyes are on her, so that the people won't harm Imam Sajjad. People should know that she is the representative of the imamate. She is the successor of the mission of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And this is how she's protecting this Islam. This is how she protected the imamate. And who is Zainab? Salamullahi alayha. Who? Can you imagine the status she holds in the law, in the eyes of Allah? When she was born, her mother is holding her in her arms. Amir al-Mu'mineen approaches. She asks, Ya Ali, what should we name this child? Amir al-Mu'mineen says, how can I take precedence over Rasulullah? They bring the child to Rasulullah. They say, Ya Rasulullah, what should we name this child? Rasulullah says, how can I take precedence over the message of Allah? The Prophet who never speaks without a revelation. وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. He is now waiting for the message of Allah. Janab Sayyida is waiting for Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen waiting for Rasulullah. Rasulullah is waiting for Jibreel. And Jibreel is waiting for Allah to give him command. And when Allah gives him command, Jibreel descends to Rasulullah. And he says, Ya Rasulullah, Allah says salam to you. And he says to name this child Zainab, because we have written her name on Lawh Mahfuz. And this is her name. The secure tablet in which everything is written, so is her name, Zainab, written in Lawh Mahfuz. And Rasulullah names her Zainab. Can you imagine whose name is coming from the heavens? She is the chosen one, chosen to share the responsibility of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. When Prophet Musa prayed to Allah, he said, Ushrikhu fi amri, Ushrikhu fi amri. Oh Allah, make my brother Harun share the responsibility of Risalat with me. Janab Zainab is that lady sharing the responsibility of the mission of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is why we call her Sharikatul Hussein. Imam Hussein's mission, his target, his vision is shared by Janab Zainab salamullahi alayha. You see that lady who was responsible to take the charge to safeguard Islam, to make sure that people remember the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, to remember the mission of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Amr bil Ma'roof wa Nahy anil Munkar. Nobody should forget that. Why was it so important? It was important because the tactics deployed by Bani Umayyah, they would fabricate narrations. In what way? When Syria became powerful, they created this department of fabrication. They hired people to write stories. They hired people to propagate those false narratives, the false tales that they wrote. They paid them. What narratives did they spread? They spread that Bani Umayyah was the real successor of Rasulullah. They are the inheritors of the Khilafah. And they wrote negative things about the Hashemites. They wrote negative things about Ahl al-Bayt. People should go away from Ahl al-Bayt. Can you imagine the effect of those propagandas? That when Amir al-Mu'mineen was shaheed in the mihrab, people heard about it, that Ali was killed in the masjid. They said, what does Ali have to do with masjid? What does Ali have to do with namaz? Because they never believed that the Amir al-Mu'mineen even prayed. He never worshipped. This was the propaganda of Bani Umayyah, to deviate people from Ahl al-Bayt, take them away from Ahl al-Bayt. They started mixing falsehood in the truth so that people will never ever recognize what truly the reality is, and they always believe what Bani Umayyah said. This propaganda didn't stop. Imagine for 40 years, Bani Umayyah ran this propaganda. And who did they hire? They hired the qaris of the Quran, the people who are pious, or at least presenting themselves to be pious, presenting them to be the Islamic people, the religious people. They hired them to tell all the fabricated tales. And this is the circular he sent out, that people should not accept the testimony of anyone who is the Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Do not accept their testimony. Their shahada is rejected. They made sure that the governors during his time are more favoring those who accept and love Bani Umayyah, and those who spread the virtues of Bani Umayyah. They were paid hefty amounts. They were given the world. They were promised the world, the riches of the world. This is exactly what Dajjal is going to do. He is going to promise the world, the riches, the gold and silver, the wealth. And he was the Dajjal of his time, promising people. And they bought it. We all know that the Rozi Ashura, we have to observe on that day, we don't work. We don't work on that day. There's a reason to it. And remember that there is nothing about Karbala that was not mentioned before. everything with precise details were already foretold by either Amir al-Mu'mineen or by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Praise the salawat. There is a narration from Maytham al-Tammar. He says, I've heard this from my master, and this is a covenant from Amir al-Mu'mineen that the son of the Prophet, Hussein ibn Ali, will be killed on the day of Ashura in the month of Muharram. And Bani Umayyah will celebrate that day as an auspicious day. And it is going to happen, day of blessings. He said this is according to a fabricated narration that will later be created. They will claim, but in fact it was the 18th of Zul-Hajjah. They will claim that Allah accepted the Tawbah of Yunus on the day of Ashura. They will claim that Allah parted the sea for children of Israel on the day of Ashura. In fact, it was Rabiul Awwal. They will claim all the events with the prophets happened on the day of Ashura, so that people will not remember that day as the day when the son of Rasulullah was killed. They will take that day as an auspicious day, a day of blessings. This is what we say in Ziyarat Ashura. What do we say? That the day of Ashura is the day where Bani Umayyah took it as a day of blessings. يوم تبركت به بنو أمية يبنى آكلة العكباد. What more did Bani Umayyah do? Day of celebration. On that day they would wear new clothes. On that day they would greet people as if it is the day of Eid. And they will stock up their sustenance on that day, and they take it as a good omen that Allah will grant them blessings in it. This is why the Imams of Ahl al-Bayt asked us not to worry about the worldly things on the day of Ashura. Never stock up anything on the day of Ashura. Because Bani Umayyah planted that seed. If you see people are fasting today, it's not because it is mustahab to fast on the 10th day. It is a fabricated narration that was spread. And people fasted on that day. They took it as a day of blessings. And these are the things that Janab Zainab Salamullahi alayha wanted the world to remember. You still see that majority of the Islamic nation observes day of Ashura as the day of blessing. How many people commemorate the day as the day of tragedy? Of course, in minority. This is why Janab Zainab Salamullahi alayha, can she stay silent when the caravan of Ahl al-Bayt reached the court of Yazid and the severed head of Imam Hussein alayhi salam was brought before Yazid? The sister saw the atrocity that befell in the court of Yazid. Yazid insulting the family of the Prophet. Yazid has no regard to the sacred sanctity of the family of the Prophet. And I cannot describe what he did next. And Sayyida Zainab was watching. He couldn't take it anymore. She's the daughter of Rasulullah, the bearer of the Islamic laws. She is the daughter of Amir al-Mu'mineen. She is the daughter of Sayyidatun Nisa al-Alameen. I want to mention a few points here. It is said that Janab Sayyida has a resemblance of her father. When she spoke, it appeared Rasulullah speaks. Her speech was like the speech of Rasulullah. Her walk was the walk of Rasulullah. That means when she delivered the sermon of Khutbah Fadakiyah, it appeared as if Rasulullah was speaking. And it is also said that Sayyida Zainab Salamullahi alayha was like her father. When she is delivering the sermon, it appeared as Ali ibn Abi Talib is speaking with that eloquence. And who is Ali ibn Abi Talib? Ali ibn Abi Talib, the embodiment of the virtues of all the Anbiya. Rasulullah said, Man ahabba an yanzuru ila Israfila fi haybatihi wa ila Mikaila fi rutbatihi wa ila Jibraila fi jalalatihi wa ila Adama fi silmihi wa ila Nuhin fi khashiyatihi wa ila Ibrahim fi khullatihi وإلى يعقوب في حزنه وإلى يوسف في جماله وإلى أيوب في صبره وإلى موسى في مناجاته وإلى يحيى في زهده وإلى يونس في ورعه وإلى عيسى في سنته وإلى محمد في حزبه وخلقه. He was the one who wanted to see Ali ibn Abi Talib, the embodiment of the 90 Anbiya alayhi salam, those characteristics that Allah gave Ali ibn Abi Talib that he never gave to anyone else. That is Ali ibn Abi Talib. The one who wants to see Adam, Nuh, Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, Yaqub, Ayub, Yunus, and me should see Ali ibn Abi Talib. 90 characteristics of Anbiya has been given to Ali ibn Abi Talib. And Zainab Salamullahi alayha resembled Ali ibn Abi Talib. She is delivering the message in the court of Yazid. She has that courage. She has that knowledge. She has that logic. She is carrying the weapons of ilm in the court of Yazid, the daughter of Fatih Khaybar. She faced Yazid. What did she say? The first statement, she said, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. She praised Allah and she said, Salam on my grandfather, the Rasul of Allah. And she delivered her sermon. When beginning, she referenced Surah Rum, Ayah 10. ثم كان عاقبة الذين سعوا السوء. Those who rejected the message of Allah, who used to mock the ayah of Allah, their end is evil. The end of the evildoers is evil. Why did she point it out? She wanted the people to know that who you are dealing with. Yazid's court has people from all around the world. He had delegates from all around the world. He even allowed the common people to enter his court so that people can see who they brought in. Because Yazid uttered these words. What did he say? He said that there was no revelation, there was no wahi. Banu Hashim played a game. I wish my ancestors were alive today from Badr. They would have patted my back and they would have said, Yazid, what a good job you did today. May your hand be never paralyzed. He was mocking revelation. He was mocking the family of the Prophet. He was mocking the Prophet of Allah. And he was boasting that he took the revenge of Badr. Sayyida Zainab, she reminded everyone that what you did is an evil act. And your end is even evil. It's worse because you're mocking. Now imagine Quran speaking, using this ayah of Quran in that instance. Can you imagine that Quran is speaking through Sayyida Zainab salamullahi alayha as if this ayah was revealed for this occasion? Those who mock the ayah, what does the ayah means? The ayah, the sign of Allah. Ahl al-Bayt are the signs of Allah. And Yazid is mocking Ahl al-Bayt. You're mocking Ahl al-Bayt. You're mocking the signs of Allah. She reminded everyone that in front of you there is no one but the family of Ahl al-Bayt, chained and shackled. You're treating them like the captives of Rome and Turkey. These are the Ahl al-Bayt. And she says, O Yazid, if you think that you have seized the earth and the skies and made us captives, and you are beating your chest with proudness, with arrogance, while you see that all the matters around you has been well planned, do you think that you took us captives? She's asking Yazid, you think that by making us captives, you think that we are your captives? You think that you have complete control over us by making us come through Karbala, being paraded all the way to Sham, that we are your captives? She is challenging Yazid's authority in his own court. You think that you have ultimate authority? You think that by doing so you have shown our insignificance before Allah? And you became very significant before the eyes of Allah? No. You haven't done what you thought you were doing. And then she reminds Yazid of another ayah. And it says, those who disbelieved, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ لِأَنفُسِهِمْ إِنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ لِيَزْدَادُوا إِثْمًا. Those who disbelieved and they were given time on this earth to live longer, they thought that it was better for them. It was their right to live and do whatever they want. But in fact, Allah has extended their lives so they can increase in sin. and there is a severe punishment for them. If Yazid, you had the opportunity to kill the family of Rasulullah, if you had the opportunity to take us captives, does not take it that Allah has given you the rights. Because they made it as if he was the ruler of Islam. He was the Khalifa of Rasulullah. That they were the real successors of Rasulullah. And now in his court, Sayyida Zainab is removing the dust from the face of truth, and she is revealing the truth. She's exposing Yazid in front of his own members and the delegation. They came to see him because he is the ruler of Islamic nation. She said, what you did here today, what you did to the family of Rasulullah, is not because you had the right to do it and you're boasting about it. In fact, Allah has given you more time so that you can increase in sin, because Allah's punishment is severe. This is a message not just to Yazid, but all to those who were present in the court of Yazid, because they made sure that the sacrifice of Imam Hussein alayhi salam was distorted. They misguided the masses into believing that it was a family feud. There was a rivalry between Bani Umayyah and Banu Hashim. It has nothing to do with Islam. But Sayyida Zainab reminded them that this is Islam. You plundered the sanctity of Islam. You are disrespecting the family of Rasulullah by bringing us as captives, by shackling us. Even when you have shackled us, in your perception we are captives, but in reality we are the family of Rasulullah. This is the lady Zainab. This is Sayyida Zainab Salamullahi alayha. She reminded people of what they did. She made sure that everybody hears the reality. She made sure to expose Yazid and his propaganda. She made sure to reveal truth to the people. Before this, people never really understood what was going on. In fact, Bani Umayyah, when they saw people restless after the shahadat of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, they ordered those people who lead the prayers to go on the pulpit, just like they cursed, they disrespected Amir al-Mu'mineen, to disrespect Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is the tactics of Bani Umayyah. And Sayyida Zainab Salamullahi alayha, she is advising people. She is bringing lights. And this caused the change of events. But inshallah, we will continue tomorrow from where we left off, because this sermon goes on to explain more things in depth. And she always referenced Quran because Yazid denied the revelation. And she is bringing Quran to tell people that what he's claiming is false, what he's claiming is wrong. In fact, Quran explains everything as if Quran was revealed for those moments. This is the beauty of Quran. This is the family of prophets that was tortured after Rasulullah. When Rasulullah passed away, when someone passes away, especially a father or the mother, people gather and they extend condolence to the family. They provide solace to the bereaved. But imagine the family of Rasulullah. The daughter of Rasulullah is crying when she sees that the door at which Rasulullah will stop before the Salatul Fajr and say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Ahl al-Bayt al-Nabuwa wa Ma'dan al-Risala, that same door was burned down. She cries for her father. She remembers her father. She misses her father. Her cries intensify. She remembers her father praying Salatul Layl, but this night she doesn't find her father. She cries. She remembers, and she doesn't find her father. When she doesn't find her father reciting Quran, she cries. She cries when she doesn't find her father. She says, Ya Abati wa Muhammada. She cried when the burned door was pushed on her and it caused her rib to break. And her son Mohsen, the unborn child, died in her womb. She shares a very striking similarity with the daughter of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. No one gave her solace. No one gave her pursa. No one gave her condolences. Jaqi comes closer. Shimr comes closer to Sakina. He takes away her veil. He grabs onto her earrings and he pushes it away. Her earlobes are wounded. The blood flows on her shirt. And this is the condolence the family of Rasulullah receives. Allahu Akbar. The 11th of Muharram arrives when Ahl Haram was taken captives, and they asked, take us from the maqtal because we want to send our last salams to our shaheed. Sayyida Sakina arrives at the body of her father. She goes, oh my father, after you there is no one to protect me. Oh Father, if they had asked me to give away my earrings, I would have given it to them. But they instead snatched away my earrings. Oh my Father, my ears are wounded. Oh my Father, every time I cry, they slap me. Oh my Father, Janab Sakina was not even let to cry on her father. Her hand was grabbed and she was dragged away from the body of her father. She said, oh Father, salam to you. She calls out her brother Ali Asghar. She said, oh brother Ali Asghar, very soon I will meet you. And the Ahl Haram is taken away from Karbala. Karbala to Kufa and Kufa to Sham. It is narrated that the Qafila was taken in the dark night. One time when they were resting, Janab Sakina was crying for her father. One of the guards comes close to her and he said, stop crying. She couldn't stop her grief. Her grief intensifies and the guard comes closer and the guard says, stop crying. Her cries intensifies even more and she says, oh Father, they killed you unjustly. Hearing these words, he grabs her hand and he throws her on the ground. She goes unconscious. When she's unconscious, the caravan leaves the place, and when she awoke, she saw that she was left behind in the pitch darkness. He calls, oh my father, you have left me alone in this place. There is no help. And she walks walks in the dark night. How much do you think she could walk? She got exhausted and she fell on the ground. And over the caravan, the Imam Hussein, the head of Imam Hussein, the spear that was carrying the head of Imam Hussein, the God who was holding that spear, the spear is loose, the spear goes away from his hand and the earth splits open. The spear sinks into the earth halfway through. They tried to take the spear out of the ground, but they couldn't take the spear out of the ground. Umar Saad was informed that the spear on which the head of Hussein is, it is sinking to the earth and is not moving out. He said, go and talk to Ali ibn al-Hussein. Ask him what is the reason. They went to Imam Sajjad and he said, it appears that one of the children is left behind. Go and talk to my aunt to look for the children. When this news reached Sayyida Zainab, she calls out to every child. And when she called Sakina, she does not hear. When she didn't hear, she threw herself from the camel and she said, oh, I have lost Sakina. She goes out in the desert to look for Sakina. She calls, oh Sakina. And this is the narration which is common. And it is said while Janab Zainab was looking for Bibi Sakina, she saw that there is a woman holding Bibi Sakina in her arm. She approaches the lady and she asks, oh lady, who are you in this wilderness that you are showing sympathy with Ali Muhammad? She removes her veil and she says, oh Zainab, you did not recognize your mother. She said, oh Amma. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. ماتم حسين.
Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी आ गई शाम में अलम लुट गए अहले हरम रेत पर जलती हुई हो गया ठंडा आलम पुरसा देने के लिए तुझसे मिलने के लिए आ गए बाबा अली तू ना आया गाजी जब रिदा सर से चीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी जब रिदा सर से चीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया धूप में तू था شجر تجھ سے آباد تھگر ہائے برہنا میرا سر کیا نہیں تجھ کو خبر اے علمدار وفا اس پہن کو بے خدا تجھ سے درس تھی بری تو نہ آیا غازی سر سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی کیا کہوں شہر میرے بیردا ہم کو لیے یہ مسلمان سارے شہر در شہر گئے خلقت کوفہ کبھی خلقت شام کبھی برہا ہم پہ ہنسی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی ہم کو پانی نہ ملے تیری خوشبو تو رہے تا مجھ پہ ہے تشنا لبی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چنی آ گئی شام علم لٹ گئے اہل حرم ریت پر جلتی ہوئی ہو گیا ٹھنڈا علم فرصت دینے کے لیے تجھ سے ملنے کے لیے آ گئے بابا علی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی
یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین ہر درود اور ہر سلام مادر حسین تیرے نام ہر درود اور ہر سلام مادر حسین تیرے نام ہر درود اور ہر سلام مادر حسین تیرے نام ہر درود اور ہر سلام مادر حسین تیرے نام ہے وہ فاطمہ آرزوئے قلب مصطفیٰ جن کے لاڈلے حسن حسین جن کی بیٹیاں فلک مقام ہر درود اور ہر سلام مادر حسین تیرے نام ہر درود اور ہر سلام خواہر حسین تیرے نام ہر درود اور ہر سلام خواہر حسین تیرے نام ثانی جناب سیدہ اللہ اللہ تیرا حوصلہ خوب کے حفاظت حرم بعد قتل سید انام ہر درود اور ہر سلام خواہر حسین تیرے نام ہر درود اور ہر سلام خواہر حسین تیرے نام میت پری ہے بے کفن کیا کرے حسین کی بہن بے کسی اور ایسی بے کسی شام اور کربلا کی شام اور ہر سلام دختر حسین تیرے نام. بی بی آپ پر ستم ہوئے, مر گئے پدر کا غم لیے. ہائے جیتے جی نہ چھٹ سکا قید خانہ لعین شام. ہر درود اور ہر سلام مادر حسین تیرے نام. ہر درود اور ہر سلام مادر حسین تیرے نام.
یا حسین 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 یا حسین.
اب مجھے کوئی سکینہ نہیں کہتا بابا. اب مجھے کوئی سکینہ نہیں کہتا بابا. قیدی کہتا ہے کوئی, قیدی کہتا ہے کوئی, کوئی یتیم بابا. اب مجھے کوئی سکینہ نہیں کہتا بابا. نیل رخساروں پہ بینائی بھی جس کی کم ہو, عمر ہو 4 برس اور کمر میں خم ہو. آپ نے دیکھی ہے کیا, آپ نے دیکھی ہے کیا ایسی ضعیفہ بابا. اب مجھے کوئی سکینہ نہیں کہتا بابا. خون بے شیر سے اندازہ کیا تھا میں نے, آپ کا چہرہ تو پہچان لیا تھا میں نے. آپ پہچانو گے, آپ پہچانو گے کیسے میرا چہرہ بابا. اب مجھے کوئی سکینہ نہیں کہتا بابا. یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین
یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین.
آ کے رسیوں سے سکینہ کو چھڑا لو بابا. آ کے رسیوں سے سکینہ کو چھڑا لو بابا. آ کے رسیوں سے سکینہ کو چھڑا لو بابا. آ کے رسیوں سے سکینہ کو چھڑا لو بابا. میں ہوں مشکل میں, میں ہوں مشکل میں, مجھے پاس بلا لو بابا. آ کے
مشکل میں ہوں مشکل میں مجھے پاس بلا لو بابا آ کے رسیوں سے سکینہ کو چھڑا لو بابا
آ کے رسیوں سے سکینہ کو چھڑا لو بابا
نہ کوئی مجھ کو بلاتا ہے سکینہ کہہ کر شام کے لوگ بلاتے ہیں یتیمہ کہہ کر ٹھوکریں کھاتی سکینہ کو